Draco wrapped his mouth around the toy now. His eyes never left Harry's, and his swollen lips nearly matched the color of the toy. He swallowed and sucked and swallowed the fake cock. He closed his eyes and hummed into the shuddering toy, making perverted slurping sounds, as if it was as tasty as the real thing. He was losing himself in his own little game. Strands of blonde hair fell into his eyes, and his head bobbed back and forth, his free hand grasping his erection anxiously. "Don't touch," Harry gasped. His head was spinning and his cheeks were inflamed. Draco's eyes snapped open. He looked at Harry, seemingly disoriented. "Fuck yourself with the dildo, Draco," Harry hissed. "Pretend it's me." Draco closed his eyes again and lifted his fingers off his cock. He yanked the dildo out of his mouth with a very wet pop, leaving his lips puffy and bright pink. He looked down and began fumbling to unsnap the garter belt. "Keep it on. Keep everything on," Harry said, nibbling on his bottom lip. "Nasty," Draco gasped, giving him a furtive smile which Harry returned. "You love it." Draco did not deny it. He spread his legs to adjust himself. Harry undid his trousers and jammed his hand inside in order to soothe the ache of his pleading cock. "Do you like it when I put it there? When I put it here?" Draco asked, his voice a husky whisper. He adjusted the dildo against his entrance and slowly teased it inside. "Yes," Harry squirmed and squeezed his own cock harder. "Put it there. Put it anywhere you want." Draco pulled it out and tasted it again before easing the dildo back into himself. Slow, deep thrusts turned rapid. The steady rocking of Draco's hips became jerky and fierce in a matter of moments. It would have been odd but for the erotic way Draco lost himself. He assaulted Harry's ears, screaming out swear words and a frantic litany of his name. "Harry! Harry! Harry!" Harry didn't know how he made it to the blonde, but when he opened his eyes he was behind Draco, steadying his frenzied movements and pulling his damp body close. He wrestled the vibrator out of Draco's firm grasp and slipped it out of his arse. "Harry." Draco had no voice left to speak. "Yes, Harry, please. Are you ready for a real cock?" Harry nibbled his neck and eased one frilly strap down off Draco's shoulders. "Harry." His vocabulary was severely limited. "Get on the bed, on your hands and knees. And don't touch." This wouldn't take long. Draco's cock was swollen, pink, and purple and would probably burst at even the slightest bit of friction. Harry licked the dildo, relishing Draco's taste, for just the slightest moment before he dropped the toy on the sofa cushion by the window and climbed onto the bed behind Draco. He tugged his trousers down around his thighs. He pushed the frilly knickers to the side and saw Draco's abused pucker, swollen, wet, and twitching. He swallowed thickly and slicked his cock with the pre-cum leaking from it. He thrust inside, groaning as the moist, tight space enveloped his cock. "Fuck," Draco hissed with that filthy mouth. "That's right," Harry said. It came out throaty and raw. He pulled back to a point where he almost slipped out of Draco. He then slammed back in, hard. Draco bucked his hips and cried out. "You like this, don't you?" Harry hissed. "You like dressing up for me, like a naughty little slut. Fuck, 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 Harry!" Draco dug his fingernails into the duvet. He clenched around Harry's cock, pushing backwards to meet every thrust, filling himself with the hilt, making them both cry out. The incredible heat and pressure made Harry's head spin, and Draco's enthusiasm drove him mad. Harry's cock ached as he coasted the knife edge of orgasm. "Such a pretty slut. Do you want to come, Draco?" Harry panted as he tried to match the impossible rhythm of Draco's hips. "Yes," Draco gasped. Harry shivered and nearly released. He wouldn't last much longer. "Go on, Draco. Come for me," he groaned. Draco gripped his cock and Just as Harry had expected, only a couple fierce jerks and Draco was squealing, heated liquid spurting all over the bedspread. Harry pulled out and, second later, he dragged out his own orgasm, spilling white sticky fluid all over Draco's slip and the pretty lace panties. Draco shuddered and crumpled onto the bed. Harry panted and toppled behind him. He wrapped an arm around Draco and pulled him close. He listened to the soft sound of their breathing steadying. The quiet stretched on, and it felt like hours. Harry nearly drifted off, inhaling the vanilla scent of Draco's damp hair mixed with the musky scent of sex. Harry, Draco's snarky tone returned, though it was noticeably hoarse. He rolled over and met Harry's eyes. I do look fucking pretty, don't I? Harry smiled, and dipped his fingers into the drying cum on Draco's thigh. They used the wrong cum. He painted Draco's lips with the substance. Bloody gorgeous. You know, you ought to be thanking your lucky stars for me. Why? Harry asked, and before Draco could answer, Harry kissed him. Draco gasped into Harry's mouth a little before Harry pulled away and gazed at him again. Draco's eyes remained closed. He licked his lips keenly. Maybe I'll wear the panties. Tomorrow night. Harry's pulse quickened. His cock was going soft, but the idea of Draco squirming at the ministry's costume party with women's knickers riding up his arse made it tingle eagerly. But only the panties. And if you tell a soul, I swear, I won't tell anyone that you like wearing women's knickers, he said. He traced the flower patterns on Draco's slip with the tip of his fingers. I don't like it, Draco pouted, unsnapping the straps on the garter belt. I think you do. You like the satin and the lace and even the pretty frills barely covering that. Harry watched Draco's erection beginning to build again. For some reason, he had the stamina for a 16-year-old at 25. Well, it's a little nice. The pressure and the lace against my cock. He choked on the last word when Harry's fingers grazed his erection. Draco took a deep breath before adding, but you like it a lot, so I figure, well, why not? I love you, Draco, Harry said, a grin settling on his lips. Draco snorted. You better. Why, because you make ridiculous bets? Harry teased. Draco narrowed his eyes. No, because I follow through when I lose ridiculous bets. I can't imagine another bloke who'd be willing to wear this frilly shit to please you. Harry smiled to himself. That's exactly why Harry couldn't imagine himself with another bloke. You know, Draco mused, would you care to make another bet? Harry frowned. There was a malicious glint in Draco's eyes. It depends. What do you have in mind? Harry asked. Draco eased his way out of the stockings and then rested his head on Harry's chest. I don't think we'll be able to make it to the bed before you fuck me tomorrow night. There was no way he'd last the entire night, especially if Draco would be squirming in too tight frilly panties. He could already feel his cock stirring back to life. I lose, he smirked and tangled his fingers into Draco's fine hair. What do you want? Well, I think it'd be hot to see you in some pretty lingerie, Potter. Though, I do think green is your color. What a delightful story this was. Very few grammar mistakes. Nice build-up. The characters, well, they were entertaining. So this story was fantastic. Hello, Susan. How are you this evening? I'm good. How about you? I'm very good, thank you very much. I just finished reading this very delightful fanfic about Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy fucking each other. It was very entertaining. Well, that's nice to hear, FanFic Critic. You are right. There's nothing wrong with me. I am perfectly fine. Isn't that right? You are aware that there's no one there, right? Perhaps you should call it tonight, FanFic Critic. You, I don't know, you just seem a little off, and perhaps you should just call it a night. Enough fanfics for tonight, okay? That might be for the best. Well, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen, and it's time for me to slit my own throat! Oh, no you don't! I wonder why I continue to go through this hell. But this time, it was my own fault that the FanFic Critic freaked out the way she did. The thing is, I knew this fanfic was going to be a doozy before she read it. I had the advantage of reading it before her, and seeing it almost made me slit my own throat. I knew it was going to have a bad effect on her. So I thought it'd be a good idea to slip some sedatives into her coffee this morning, in hopes that when she did review this fanfic that she would be calm and collected. Well, we can all see where that went. Yes, she did appear calm and collected during the review, but there was something off. It was sarcastic in a sense, and then it came to the point where she tried to kill herself. So as you can clearly see, she did not like this fanfic. I'll tell you my opinion, seeing she can't tell you hers. Draco and Harry do not make a good / couple. If you were to do Harry and Ron, that would work, but not Harry and Draco, because if you made them / it makes no sense. If this fanfic had been about Harry and Ron, it would have been a lot more tolerable, and I think that was my personal issue with the story. Other than that, the story wasn't too bad. Not many grammar mistakes from what I could see, but then again, I can't pinpoint grammar mistakes like the FanFic Critic can. But Harry and Malfoy do not make a good / couple. And I think that's what really got the FanFic Critic, and myself included, seeing I am a big fan of the book series, and judging by that poster on the opposite wall, the FanFic Critic is also a big fan of the book series, or at least the movie series. And if you're curious about where the FanFic Critic is, I did manage to stop her from, but we decided to put her in the loony bin for one night, just to be on the safe side. Once one of the sedatives wore off, she seemed to be fine, and thankfully it seemed to erase her memory of this fanfic. It looks like I'm going to be the one who's editing today's episode, because I'm afraid that if she edits this episode, she'll remember the fanfic and things won't get any better. Yes. So, I'm Susan, filling in for the FanFic Critic temporarily, and hopefully you'll see her all next week and she'll be her good old self. Well, as sane as she could be. Okay, cheerio.